I've dailied this motorcycle since August 2020 and I've had an absolute blast with it. Here are some pros you probably haven't heard of. The foot pegs really take a hit if your bike tips over. Multiple times I've seen my bike tipped over, which makes me angry. But this means the cosmetics of the Z900, they really didn't get affected. This obviously depends on the crash protection you have, but I have those ones that don't stick out like a pogo stick. I have like those nice sleek looking frame sliders that just are more for high speed crashes or like low sides and stuff. And it looks like the foot pegs were really just the first line of defense. That's nice, you just have to change them out. You know, I think it was like about $50 to get some new ones for each side because it's happened on both sides. But something to keep in mind of. Next pro is if you put your bike on low power mode, it actually helps you save a little gas. I've been commuting 100 miles 5 times a week and wanted to just try this out. So it looks like you just end up saving another bar of gas, but those readings really just aren't too reliable anyway. But it's something to keep in mind, at least if you really commute a lot. I've been doing 5 days a week of going to El Cajon because I've been in my clinical rotation for working at a skilled nursing facility for physical therapy. This bike doesn't vibrate like older Kawasaki models. I rode my friend's old ZX6R, and then I jumped back on mine. I noticed an instant difference how smooth it was. So that's really cool. I mean, I like the old bikes and everything too. I think his was like 2008, 2012 or something like that. But yeah, it was worth noting. You know, you're going to get some vibration on the freeway still, but I'm really happy with it. This next pro is probably the most important one. 20,000 miles later, it's working just as well as it did the first few thousand miles. Ooh, actually, even better now because I've got an ECU flash, I have a fun exhaust, I've got custom suspension done. Honestly, it feels even better than the first few thousand miles. I gotta throw that out there. So I was curious how this bike would feel after that 15,000 mile service. You know, that involves like valve adjustments, you know, obviously oil and some fluids and whatnot. So, man, these bikes are really reliable, man. And I'm curious to see how long this bike goes. This first con might surprise some of you. The motorcycle key itself is really sensitive to heat. So most of the keys I've snapped off are from crashing on track, or it's as simple as like putting my house key in the door and then snapping it in the keyhole. This is just another reason why I'd love to have a key fob for the Z900. I mean, it's 2024 now. I think, you know, standard some of these bikes, even like Yamahas, you know, might be having a key fob now. I know the BMWs do it. It's a little bit more premium. I get it, but that would be really cool to do. So I didn't absolutely snap the key in half. But I noticed that when I tried to take my key out of my gas tank, maybe I gave it a little oomph. You know what I mean? Sometimes it gets a little stuck in the gas can and you're trying to put it back on, and sometimes you have to push down a little bit. And that's pretty standard on most motorcycles, not being like the smoothest thing ever to unscrew your gas cap. On to the next con. Well, the plastic fairings are starting to come undone a little bit. I don't know if this is due to how many times it's been tipped over or whatnot, but, you know, all the commuting, there's a bunch of vibrations on the freeway. Maybe they're coming loose from a wheelie here or there. I don't know. But also the front windscreen thing that looks like, you know, the Triceratops dinosaur. It's gotten wrecked over the years. I mean, man, you're just hitting bugs all the time. You're hitting rocks on the front, you know, just stuff getting slammed into the front of your bike. Man, I don't know. If I got a brand new one of those, maybe it would make the bike look way more well kept. The last con that I'd like to mention is how intrusive the ABS is on this bike. ABS is really intrusive on this bike, so if you're trying to do some stoppies and such, you know, it's probably going to get in the way. I usually need to make sure the tires are really, really warm and have to be going fast enough if I want to do some stoppies, but it really makes me work for it. So, look, I have a feeling not having the steel braided brake lines contributes to this, so that could be an easy fix. I haven't tried getting those. I literally just don't want to spend the money. We've got like the dual disc braking. There's 2 sets of pads here in the front wheel, and man, you get some really good stopping power out of this bike, but you know, we could probably get some more. And of course, you can just disable the ABS by taking the ABS fuse out or whatever. I just haven't done that. So maybe that's the next thing I do and have fun and play around with that. But anyway, you guys, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this 4-year review of the Z900. I really tried to get some nitpick sort of pros and cons. Feel free to go back to my other videos if there wasn't one that you were quite expecting. I've got a few other ones earlier on about this bike. All right, thanks for your time. Peace.